All right. Hello, I am Anna,
Hi, I'm Brian.
and we're interviewing.
Claudio.
So nice to meet you. First, I want to let you know what we're doing. We're interviewing you as part of our user design experience project to identify problems for computer science student club officials at the University of Florida. So we also have a participation acknowledgement form that basically is saying you consent to this interview being filmed. All your responses are confidential. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Perfect. Okay, so first, want to get to know a little bit about you. What is your major, year, and your role in your club?
yeah, for sure. Again, I'm Claudio. I'm a computer science student um, in the College of Liberal Arts. I'm a senior right now. I will be graduating in spring next semester or fall next year or fall this year. And I'm part of the PC Building Club. And I'm a web developer for the PC Building Club. I also do some outreach things to promote the club. Um, Pretty much the outreach just involves doing flyers and talking to people on campus to invite them to participate in the GVMs and the events. And for the web development part, I pretty much just do the website for the club. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, what would you say are the biggest challenges you face in engaging with new members and keeping current members active?
I would say the biggest challenge is making making them interested in the club because it's easy to say like yeah come to the club but actually making them come and participate in the events it will be the most difficult part because most students don't know what the club is about. They just hear PC building and then immediately they just think okay, so it's just PC building, there's nothing else, which is a lie. We actually do some events. We go outside to different lakes and participate to like a sports activity where we invite everybody to come. We also bring food and stuff like that, so just promoting all the activities that the club does and making them understand that so they know okay, so it's more than just PC building. It's also kind of a social club so you can meet a lot of people and make friends. And yeah, I would say
Yeah,
that.
I think that's very important.
No, yeah, that's really good. And so, yeah, one problem we did identify was engagement and outreach, and we have a potential solution in the form of a storyboard that we will have you look at.
Okay.
So, uh, he has it on his computer. That's where he's going to be looking it over. So we're going to give you a minute to look it over. Please, as you go through it, can you think out loud? Let us know what you think, and we'll have some follow-up questions for you after you're done.
Okay, yeah, for sure. They're really like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Alex, the president of the robotics club, struggles to engage new members despite the club's innovation project. Okay. Scrolling through his phone, Alex discovers Clubstagram, a new social platform dedicated to university clubs. Okay. Alex begins planning a campaign on Clubstagram, selecting photos and videos to promote his club, hopefully getting more people to engage. Okay. The app has event scheduling, project showcase, club news, and other engagement features to interest potential and current members. Okay. Students find Alex posts on Clubstagram showing interest. They start following the club's page and engaging with content. Okay. Thanks to Clubstagram, the robotics club membership has soared and engagement has been up and much more consistent. And I think the app makes sense. It sounds like it helps outreaching to other students and promoting the club, which is I think it's perfect. That's one of the biggest and most important things for a club. There's no club without members, so yeah, I think it's pretty good.
All right. So, yeah, now we're just going to ask a little bit more questions about the storyboard and kind of how, like, what you were thinking when you were navigating it. So, how do you think, like, a platform specifically designed for university clubs like Clubstagram could impact your club's visibility and member engagement? Like, how would you want to use it?
Hmm. Well, I think it would be positive for sure. Any sort of media that we can use to reach more people would always be helpful. And I think the main thing is that the app itself has to be popular, right? People have to know that Clubstagram exists for clubs to be able to use it and actually be successful with it. And I think it should also illustrate what clubs are really about. Like just seeing a flyer that says "Come event," it's at 3 p.m. on Friday. It's pretty basic and doesn't really bring that many people. It should showcase all the different features that club have has and I don't know, all the maybe mentioning what the club is about. You know, all the small details that make the club fun per se.
Yeah, so building off of basically what you said of showing what the club is actually about,
Mhm.
if there was a feature that allowed you to do that, that allows you to showcase club projects and achievements, how would you envision using it?
Mm, I'd say it should have a lot of pictures, and I would probably just post the event, maybe mentioning the I don't know the activities that the clubs does and how can people participate in what they're gonna gain from coming to the club. That's the most important thing because people just don't want to come to the club to the events just to see nothing. They want something in return, right? Either knowledge or maybe merch, maybe food, stuff like that, so people can see what the event is going to give them and why is it positive to go to the event. I
Yeah,
guess.
I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and what ways do you think integrating digital platforms into club management could ease challenges of balancing club and, let's say, maybe, scheduling conflicts or academic conflicts?
It would definitely help because one of the most problematic things is finding the best time slots for students to come, right? You don't want to do a club meeting or a GVM at 3 or 2 p.m. because that's one of the biggest time slots where other students have classes. So you want to maximize the time where you can have the most amount of students come and participate without being too late or too early because then they're not going to come, they're not going to be on campus. So maybe having automation systems that can check and see things like that would be very helpful, per se.
Yeah. And as a computer
Mhm.
science student, I feel like that's something that could actually be done, especially with the
Yeah,
PC building
exactly,
club.
exactly. We can come up with an algorithm or stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's a good project to have, I guess. Yeah.
All right, and so based on the storyboard itself, is there
Mhm.
any features that seem like particularly useful or something that seems like maybe, I wouldn't really use this or I wouldn't really seem like, you know, important to me if I was making, like, trying to promote my own club on this app?
Um, I don't know. The storyboard seems pretty complete. I see. I see it has like thumbnails for different clubs, so you can quickly see all the clubs on campus. But then you can, I'm assuming, you can click on the different clubs and check more details about it. So I think that's pretty good. And for as a club member, a club manager, I think having, well, it kind of mentions it here, but having scheduling helps a lot. Also, maybe having potential future events, like mentioning all the events throughout the semester, that would help a lot. Having like a calendar per se with all the different events at the different dates, that would be very good. And also, if it's going to help the club managers manage the actual club, it would be very helpful to also have like maybe finance features where we can easily distribute the money and let's say we have a certain amount of budget for the club. Like how can we distribute it? And if the app helps us manage that, that would also help a lot. And yeah, I think that would be my feedback for the app. Mhm.
Awesome, thank you. Very valuable feedback. So, so
Um,
would you say you would be willing to like participate in like a pilot test platform if like we created this and there was like a testing phase?
Yeah, for sure. I think it would be very beneficial. Again, I'm seeing that the app depends on students actually using it. So also promoting the app to students as to club managers and clubs, it's very important. But yeah, I could definitely see myself in our club participating in it. I think it would be very useful. You could see I see many benefits from using it. I see it's an easy way to organize all the club activities and all the club management in one place.
Yeah. And what would you hope to achieve or learn from the test?
Um, I would hope to see more students join the clubs. I would love to see more people in our
Of
JVMs
course.
and yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay, so to going into it, I know you're like a club official, and this does require other people, like let's say engaging with the application.
Mhm.
Is there something like as an app and as an official, like for management, that you would like to see that like helps you organize and like distribute things that doesn't necessarily require other like students viewing it? Like
Okay.
maybe engagement tools that do
Mhm.
require students using it, or that is more tailored towards helping you promote engagement without have needing
Hmm.
that interaction on the app.
Okay. Well, on the uh, talking specifically about us without the students seeing the app part, I would say similarly, like finances are something very important and something very messy if you don't manage correctly. That's one big important like thing. Also, being able to, for on our end to schedule all the different events, like seeing all the, let's say, the best time slots to do different events. Let's say at 6 p.m. on a Friday might be a good time slot to do an event, or it would be even better to do that at 5 p.m. on a Wednesday per se. Those features would come very helpful. Um, Maybe having like a listing of all the rooms available at different times, or ways to automatically connect to the UF offices to reserve the rooms itself. That would also be very helpful to have. And I guess, yeah, those features I would say are one of the most important things when managing the club, for sure.
And I have to ask because I'm not a club official or anything. When you guys are planning events, are those something that you usually have like dates set for, or is that something like dates you have to set up and then kind of be considering other students like times and availabilities and when people are usually able to attend?
Well, we usually try and set up the dates based on availability of other students. That's
Mhm.
our the main thing. So we think, okay, so is this an exam week, or is this a midterm week, or is this just a regular weekday of class? So we try and see that. Then we also check the different courses that are having class at that time. If, let's say, since this is a PC building related club, we expect to see mostly computer science, computer engineering students. Then I don't know, other different majors. It's not like they're not welcome. Of course, they're welcome to come, but it's more common to see computer science students participate. So we try and focus on those classes specifically, like the programming one, programming two, data structure courses. We try to not overlap our GVMs with those classes.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And do you think like maybe a feature like depending on who was signed up for your club,
Mhm.
like where they maybe put in their schedule and kind of gave you analytics of all that information, would you think that would be helpful? Is that something you think you'd
Yeah,
use
yeah.
or?
I think that would be very helpful. Having students fill out their like their class personal information, like when they're having certain classes, could help us see more easily what are the best time slots for that. Yeah.
And do you ever have like too little of a turnout or too much of a turnout to like events that you plan?
Yeah, depending on the time, let's say if we have an event halfway through the week, right after classes, that's mostly when we see the most amount of people come. And if it's on campus, but let's say sometimes we try and do events outside of campus, like on lakes and different sport centers. We usually see a really significantly less turnout to those events because people would have to go out of their way on weekends to different places. So they really have to see the value of going to those places to truly want to participate.
And would you say some sort of like feature, maybe like members that are thinking about coming can RSVP or just like say, "Hey, I'm coming out," just so we can get you can get like an estimate of the turnout?
Well, that would be very helpful just to see how many people come and we can plan accordingly. Let's say we want to buy food for the Jeep for the event, right? So we can buy uh not too much or too little amount of food depending on the amount of people per
Yeah.
se. Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the features like that we were considering too for like if we did something similar to Clubstagram was that you were talking about, oh, it's more of a it's like it's very social. It's not just PC building, where it was like you could add in those photos to kind of like showcase the different like social
Yeah.
events and everything and like caption it, let's say perhaps, and then maybe insert a feature to like gauge interest from other people, like if they like it or if they're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool, like I didn't know it was like that. Is that something you think would be like a good idea or something you would want to see in an app like that?
Yeah, the more feedback we get from students for our GPMs and the more user interaction with our club, I think the better, right? Like seeing their opinions and what they think about the club, or even like if they think it's a good club in general or stuff like that, it would be very very helpful. Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think I like that idea. Okay.
Um,
I have another idea for a feature. I think it would be very helpful. I just thought of it. Maybe having like an inventory management system, because we usually on our PC building club we have a lot of inventory all the time that we have to manage just for the
Yeah.
PC components, maybe for the actual events, if it's shirts and stuff like that. Having a way where we can see all our inventory in one place would be very helpful instead of just having like everything on our offices and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I can imagine how
Yeah,
chaotic that can get.
it gets very messy, especially with all the components that we have for computers and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just I thought of that.
Well, thank
yeah.
you for your
Well,
feedback.
yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your experiences or challenges as a club official, or any other feedback on the concept we've discussed?
Mm, I don't know. I think the app looks very complete. I see all the things, all the mostly all the things that we're missing right now that we have to manage manually in some way. Or let's say we have Excel sheets with the inventory, or we have to like manually go into the different time slots and check which classes are being done at this certain time, so we can schedule GVMs according to that. I think the app manages that in some way. I also see the outreach to students is also there, which I think is very helpful. I don't know, I think the app looks very complete, and I don't know what else I would add to it. But yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Mm.
Uh,
And thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming out.